Welcome to the Grimm Brothers' first podcast with myself, Josh, aka Undead, and we have Langdon, aka Rush.
What's up, guys?
And we have special guest, first guest of all time, Adam, aka Adam Baum.
Very, very special guest.
Yes, I would agree. So the idea of this podcast is to basically not only just talk to friends and have a good time, but to be able to get our ideas out there and kind of like our process and kind of just get our personalities out there in general. Kind of a good thing.
Just most importantly, have fun, though, obviously.
Oh, well, obviously.
So are we planning on we're going to have, for each episode, is there going to be like a special theme, or is it just like talking about whatever?
I think just mostly talking about whatever. Just talking about just the stories, ideas for stories, right. Maybe some experiences that happened to you. Just original ideas. Like, for example, recently I came up with a story, a human augmentation story. So basically that goes along the lines of it kind of travels through like a post-apocalyptic world, and this guy gets like somehow grabbed. I haven't developed that part yet, but it turns out someone brings him to this sketchy ass place and then takes out his eyes and puts like new augmented eyes in him. And it'll turn out that, I mean, I'm not going to say the whole end, but it turns out like not everything's the way it's supposed to be. So it's a very sci-fi / horror, because the build up to the eyes being taken out to the realization that things aren't how they're supposed to be. It's going to be pretty interesting, I think.
So that sounds different than your guys' other stuff. Your guys' previous stuff was more, I mean, from what I've heard, is more like ghost story or like more horror. That seems like it's real like sci-fi as well.
Yeah, most of the stuff that's like sci-fi, because I don't know if you noticed, there's some that are kind of, or the stuff that's like ghostly and sci-fi. That's all Josh's stuff. Okay. The stuff that's kind of like psychological or kind of like that could really happen. Yeah. That's mine.
Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of the development process just goes through we kind of think of these things like normally throughout the day, or at least I do. I know, like, I just like catch something and I'm like, that's a great story idea, just like, I mean, not that I have messed up thoughts about getting mutilated or, but I just think it's a good thing to have the life experience to start building these other stories.
Yeah, that's normally how I come up with my stories too, is like just throughout the day. With my last one, I was spending a lot of time alone, and I was just, I was thinking like, man, what if, somebody that, just did hear voices, started talking to them, some crazy idea like that. And, that's how I came up with the voices one. And then, the one with, what's the video? Bobby, I believe.
Yeah, Bobby is that one. Yeah.
That one was just
that one tripped me out.
That one's more of a psychological something that, I mean, I wouldn't say happens on a regular basis or anything, but I'm just saying like it's something that's could be reality. So it kind of hits you in that. And
it does kind of go along with the story you're working on too, where you see something that's not necessarily the way it is. So it's kind of fun to play with different sides of how you interpret things. So seeing somebody like mentally, or seeing somebody because you have augmented eyes, sci-fi side of it. So it's cool to just kind of mix things up too, kind of try to hit all of our audience.
Yeah, and I think actually some of the cool stuff that happens too is like when you get dreams or when you have dreams. For me, I have a super crazy dreamscape. Like things just happen. The best example of that would be the retained seer.
Oh, okay.
The retained seer. There's a new story coming out that's going to be pretty cool, and it has to do with like this white hallway and some other crazy stuff. But
that's like the story that kind of started all of this. Like,
yeah,
that was the first one. You told me that dream, and we were like, dude, that'd be super cool if it was a movie.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, neither of us can really make a movie. So we're like,
Right.
well, I've been listening to, people narrate stories. Like, why don't we try to get it down on paper?
Yeah, and a little backstory on that particular story that we're talking about is I had a dream that it involved this hallway. It was actually a dark hallway, not a white hallway. This was kind of different. But what happened was I went to sleep and I'm not immediately in the hallway. I kind of walk up to this hallway and I look down it, and I can't remember the details. It's been a while, but I look down the hallway. I see like something peeking out from the door from the doorway, looking down at me because there's like bedrooms lining the hallway. And so I'm like, what is that? So I go obviously in like every horror movie, you go down and you try to see what it is. And I'm just walking past these rooms, and there's nothing weird about these rooms at all. They're just like normal rooms. And then I get to this last room, I turn in, and it's like, I can't remember what's in there. It's been a while.
If I remember correctly, you told me you got there and there's like nothing in there.
Right.
And then you kind of freaked out because you swear you saw something, but then when you turn around, you're like, oh, well, let me go look back where I came from. You see yourself walking back down, which is crazy. It tripped me out. Like, I didn't see the twist coming, even though it's like super simple. Yeah. And that's what tripped me out. I was like, dude, we have to tell people that. That's cool. Yeah. So that's basically where everything started. Yeah, and it's like that lost, I don't want to say lost art form of storytelling, but it's definitely not one that's practiced much. It's just, narrating something to someone, or like, it's campfire stories. You know what I mean? It's stuff that you can relate to in some way, but it's, it's not absolutely true, and it's not absolutely fiction in some way. Yeah, I haven't really heard, when you guys were telling me about this, I haven't really heard anything like it, like scary stories on YouTube or narrated like that. I mean, it's an interesting idea, and I'll be honest, at first I was like, oh, doesn't seem like it'd be that scary. It's just my buddies like narrating stuff. Yeah. But then I would get drawn in, man, like that the Bobby one. I was like, oh, dude, freaks me out. Yeah. Yeah. The Retained Seer is by far the one that gets me the most, because that was a real dream that had, obviously with some edits, but it was a dream that I had where I was the one in the chair at the end, and I saw that machine that was in there. I saw that in my dream. So, and I saw the words that were written on the paper that was from the thing. And I felt in my dream the levitation that brought me up. It was so crazy. If you haven't listened to it, you definitely take a look at it. You'll kind of get that weird Exorcist vibe. It's definitely one of those cool Exorcist stories, in my opinion, obviously, because I wrote it. Yeah. You guys are having weird dreams. The last dream I remember having, I don't usually have dreams that I can remember. But the last one I had was, I was at it was an Overwatch amusement park. Oh, nice. That sounds Overwatch fun, themed. Yeah. Overwatch themed amusement park. I think it was because I was staying up late playing Overwatch, and then I went to bed, and then I had this dream. It was just weird. It was trippy. I don't even remember everything about it. I just remember that there was a ride, and it was Overwatch themed. And I was there, and I gave him a ticket to get on this roller coaster. Nice. Yeah. It was themed what? It was there were it was a Disneyland an animatronic Winston, an animatronic Overwatch characters, and you're going. It was a roller coaster. It was weird. That sounds interesting, though. I mean, and that's for my stories, and the way I come up with stories is, I take something like that. I have dreams. Most of the time, I just have regular dreams, just stuff I'm doing every day. But I'll take that and I'll be like, well, how crazy would it be if if the villains in Overwatch or the bad characters in Overwatch started trying to take it over, and oh crap, what would I do? That's scary, and that's why a lot of mine are. Either psychological or stuff that could really happen, with invasions, stuff like that. So, that's basically how I come up with my story ideas. So, and I think the interesting thing about this particular situation that we're building right now is that,
I'm just speaking for myself in this. Is I don't mind. I don't want to say I mind people stealing, but it's not. It's like this is. I already know it's mine, so if someone like were to take it in any way, I'd be like,
yeah. And that was another thing too. That whenever we were discussing making our first video, was we could easily go to, you know, a website where people post scary stories and just start picking them out, which ones we like, and narrating them. Nothing wrong with people that do that. There's a lot of really good narrators that do that.
You give credit, you know, as long as you give credit, yeah.
Yeah, but I thought because of the conversations that we have and like the stuff we talk about, I thought we could totally just do our own content.
Yeah.
And that, you know, that's why we had like a year off, is because we just didn't have the time to sit down, talk, come up with the stories, record and all that. So now that we actually have some more time that we can actually spend on it, we're planning on doing more. So, and
I think it's a labor of love rather than a labor of trying to make it popular.
For sure.
Because, I mean, obviously,
if you're trying to make it popular, it's not. You're gonna be miserable. You know?
You're just gonna overproduce it, and you're not gonna get anything, you know, beneficial coming. I mean, just the creative aspect of it, just making it authentic, is cool in my mind. So, yeah, that white hallway one was trippy. It was a trippy dream.
I don't think I heard that one.
Yeah, I mean, I have some notes on my phone about it, but it was basically like...
Have you recorded it already or no?
No, I haven't even put this one down on paper yet, besides a couple notes here and there. But we do have some stuff that's written down right now. Langdon...
Oh, you talking about like the dated one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's... Oh man, I don't remember if I can remember it off the top of my head. Let's see. It was basically... I'll just say that... Because we're going to do that one next probably, so I don't want to give away the twist or anything, but basically it's a missing person. Mm-hmm. Dude's wife goes missing, and another thing that this story is kind of relevant to is we try to change up where things take place, what time they take place, time of year, and try to try to put some of that stuff in there, so that way people are like, you know, if somebody's living in Nebraska and all they ever hear is stories about, you know, invasions or something, or stuff that happens in the city over in California. Yeah. You know, they want something they can relate to. So like this next one that's going to come out is in Arizona, in the middle of the desert. Okay. In a small town. And then the one after that I'm working on is going to be in, I believe, Wisconsin.
Yeah. We like to pick these like super odd destination. I mean, even for the first one, I think it was in like, we based it out of Virginia. I mean,
for the apothecary one.
Yeah, the druggist.
Druggist, that's what it's called. Yes, that one was. It's funny too, because in that one you can hear there was when I was recording, that was obviously the first one that I was recording, and at the time we were doing it separate, so where I would record at home, send him the file, he would pick music, whatever, like we'd work on it separately, and you know, I'm trying to do it by myself, and the first time I've ever recorded, I'm trying to figure out stop, record, and all that stuff, and how to cut and edit. And I got tired. And if you go back and listen to it, little Easter egg, I guess, is there's a part where I have to say pitch black. Yeah. And I accidentally say bitch black. And so if you go back and listen to it, you can catch it.
You kept it in?
I was like, I've been editing all night. I don't want to do this anymore. So I'm just going to push that through and see if, you know, anybody catches it. No, I mean, nobody commented, and that one I think has like our most views at like 150. So yeah, nothing crazy, but you know, nobody's commented on it. I'm sure people will notice though.
It's our giant golden star on our plaque of success right now.
Yeah, over 100 views.
Yeah, I mean, 24 subscribers. It's a humble beginning.
Yeah.
Gotta start somewhere.
You gotta start somewhere,
yeah. Who knows? Maybe 10 years from now, we're going to be like, oh man, 100 views, we get that in an hour. You know? I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say, there are plenty of people that kind of inspired this whole collection of podcast, channel, you know, original creative content. And just having the vessel to do that by... just having this vessel to do this is super cool, I think. Because it's not, you know, a very... I mean, I guess now it's more popular. I think now more than ever, podcasting is up there.
Oh, definitely.
In views and subscribers, and it's like the new art form, I guess.
Yeah, and I think the best thing we have going for us is... We're not trying to, like you said earlier, it's a labor of love. Like, we're not trying to, you know, become millionaires off of this. We just kind of want to do it because half the time we're just sitting around talking anyways. Why not let other people listen to us? We think we're funny. So
yeah. Hey, so you guys, I mean, this is an intro podcast, right? And I kind of also want to know, what are your guys', do you guys have like end goals, or what do you guys want to do with all of this? I mean, are you guys going to try to make like a website and post this, or do you guys kind of just, do you guys have like a schedule for a podcast, like every, like twice a week, once a week, or?
Yeah, I think right now we've been talking about it. It's just whenever we can.
Yeah.
We want to try, once a week, once every other week on a Friday, at least something like that. But, for right now, it's whenever we can. I know my goal out of this, the reason I'm as adamant as I am about, getting out here and talking is I kind of like the idea of having someone looking forward to just hearing you. Somebody that goes, oh man, the Grimm Bros is going to post the next podcast this week. And they said last week they're going to talk about cars or, whatever it is we said we're going to talk about. People are like looking forward to hearing us talk about it. And it doesn't have to be like, oh, they're amazing. Just, somebody that listens and subscribes and follows us.
Yeah. Or like just like true, like appreciation in the way that they like can understand where we're coming from and with some of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know another thing that we were talking about before is, because we want to have guests as much as possible, is when we do have, subscribers that actually comment and interact with us, is we're totally cool with, doing like a video, or streaming, a guest.
Oh yeah.
Like through Skype or something like that. And, so if it's somebody that listens from, New York on the opposite side and, they want to jump in and talk with us and hang out and talk, then they can do so. So that's one thing we've been talking about.
Yeah, and to everyone out there that's listening right now, I mean, you can get a hold of us through our channel. Just send us a message, or if you have an idea, just, we'll probably throw out our email address. Just go ahead and send us any notes or ideas that you guys have. Maybe we can expand on them, help,
We're also on Facebook. You can look us up, same name, same picture. It's the Grimm Bros in red on a black background. I think we also put it in the comments or in the description as well. So you can find us there if you really want to send us a message on Facebook. Otherwise, I think we're going to be starting a Twitter soon, just so we can kind of keep up with everybody and have any kind of social media that anybody's on, so that way they can talk to us. What's
so crazy about Twitter? I've been on social media for a long time already, but I've never touched Twitter. Mm-hmm. I've never even signed up with Twitter.
Same here.
I have a Twitter, and I'll tweet maybe once every few months. It's just, it's trippy. It's perfect for talking to the president, I guess.
Yeah, apparently.
I mean,
I get all political. We can talk to the president.
No. And I think actually on that note, I think that was another thing we were talking about is, if we might one day talk about, politics, if, we bring it up, but we're not taking ourselves serious. We're not thinking that we're the channel that you have to listen to for your news. Like, no, we're more like, friends. If you want to hang out with a group of friends and you got nothing to do, it's 2:00 in the morning, you can watch one of our podcasts.
Yeah.
Well, that's the cool thing about podcasts. Like what you were saying, you looking forward to it. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I know, okay, Mondays and Tuesdays with these ones dropping. I'm exactly. Looking forward to it. And I'll do a little shout out. There's a podcast called, called Raised by TV. And it's these two comedians, and they just talk about 80s and 90s TV shows, commercials, toys, things like that. So, I mean, like the thing is like, it's just their personalities. They're funny. Yeah. They're comedians. They're funny. They vibe off each other. They're cool. And the content isn't really like, oh, I need to know about 80s and 90s TV shows and commercials. Like, it's mainly like the people, and that's a lot of like the podcast is like the people.
Yeah, and in the description, we're going to try to put like links to all these little podcasts that you can check out too, because obviously these are people that have inspired us to do this project too. Like, for example, like the god of all podcasts right now, which is, in my opinion, is Joe Rogan's podcast. He's got a ton of views, ton of subscribers. He's got a ton of content and a lot of inspiration.
Yeah, I think another thing too is just to kind of throw it out there so everybody knows, if in the future, any type of video you see of ours, we're never trying to, rip anybody off, or if you know of somebody we mentioned and we didn't, give them credit in the description or anything like that, you can just let us know, like, you know, in the comments, in a message, hey, you know, this is the link to so-and-so's channel, or, you know, whatever it is. We're doing this for fun. So if we happen to forget something like that, then, you know, we're not trying to do anything malicious or trying to, you know, screw anybody over. We're totally cool if we do, you know, have more views, throwing in credit and all of that.
If anything, it's a plug. It's a plug for them to go.
It's a free plug. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, from us, you know, our 25 people that we have subscribed right now at this moment.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. So, well, talking about stories and story development, or even experiences in life as far as like scary moments, is there anything that you would want to write about, maybe?
Scary moments? Not that I can think of. No, I mean, I have a few things that I could maybe dig through my mind to come up with. It wouldn't be, you know, be maybe drawn from personal experience, and then I could embellish it a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I could probably think of something. I have some stories that are more funny or awkward, you know, that, you know, I don't know if, you know, how that would go.
So no supernatural or anything that's happened to you personally, or anything weird, or...
Of course, weird things have happened to me. You've known me I've known you for a long time. Of course, weird things have happened. No, yeah, I mean, I haven't really thought about it, but now that you've brought it up, I can start thinking about it, and I'm gonna start thinking about it.
Yeah,
definitely.
Figuring something
You'll
out.
Notice things too. You're like, I wonder how many times I've, you know, left the door open after we talk about a story where somebody sneaks into a house or something. Crazy stuff like that. So you'll start noticing stuff if you do actually listen to the stories more and stuff like that. So
yeah, I just think it especially if you're a writer, it opens up your mind to looking at things in a different way too. Mm-hmm. Just to get it out there, share your creativeness.
So I think we have an awkward part is how are we going to do a sign off? Are we going to actually say something? Are we going to have you know, something cool? We all point at the camera, or what are we going to do? What do you think? This is the Grimm Bros working at its finest right now, trying to figure out what we're going to do.
Yeah, this is a normal process for us. We're always
seeing the inside, behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes.
How should we add it this way, or should we, you know, have this part be narrated, you know, in a certain way? Like, should it have this emotion? Like, we did that a lot in our most recent video, Masquerade Madness.
Yeah.
Which originally it was actually supposed to be called Mannequin Madness, but for some reason we had both changed it to Masquerade somehow.
I don't know why.
Yeah, maybe it just too close in wording.
At some point.
Yeah. But it was kind of, it was related to the story.
Yeah, it fit.
Did you end up having a chance to watch that one, or not yet?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's
which one is that?
It's a play off of Doll Island. There's an island in Mexico.
Oh, I think I remember. Yes, I remember this one.
Yeah, so it's a play off of that. I mean, when I write stories, I kind of like having a twist at the end. Mm-hmm. Not always does it have a twist, but I do like adding something that's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because I think that's what happens in my dreams a lot of the time, is like something will happen and I'm just like, what? Like, why? You know? But that's a lot of my motivation in doing that, is just having the dream experience.
Interesting.
Yeah. So yeah.
Awkward pause.
So back to that sign off.
Well, the sign off I don't think is I mean, if we just come in together like a team and just clap, and that sounds good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, because, you know, another thing we have to consider too is, if we're going to put music into it, intro, outro, all that.
Oh yeah, there's going to be.
Are we going to be like,
outros.
"See you next time," and then point at the camera, and then the music starts up and blah blah blah, whatever?
So you guys planning on having like you know, talking, vibing like this, talking around, but then dropping like a story in the middle, or what do you guys?
We're thinking about doing a story maybe in the same day. Maybe not in the video, but we could do segments. Like, definitely if we have something on the side that we are like, oh, we really want to give you a sneak peek at this.
Or if it's only like a minute or 2 minute long story, too.
Maybe we could bring up something like, maybe we could bring up the dated one, maybe a little bit.
Well, we kind of already did with the hallway. The same way we did that, we might be able to, if we have something short that we don't feel is necessarily needs its own, story because it doesn't have a twist, or it's just not long enough, there's not enough content, we're not trying to just bust out as many videos as possible, then, we could throw it in the middle, but I don't think we're necessarily trying to do it on every podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, we're just going to be talking as people, too. Just like, for example, would you ever have thought that a guy looking like him is going to come up with some horror stories? Not, you think of like long dark hair covering our face, sitting in our bedroom, like,
Yeah.
But obviously not that way.
No.
Anybody
can be twisted.
Beards.
Yeah.
I wish.
I know. Just can't.
What happened to the mustache? Last time I saw you had a nice mustache.
Yeah, it was. I started to realize how unhygienic it was, and I didn't like it because it just kind of
food stuck in there.
Yeah. That was. I don't know.
Well, you know what's nasty about it is when it gets like super thick and like
like
gets
mine.
Hot.
Like mine.
Yeah.
I get it when we're gonna start talking about mustache, facial hair now. But what happens with me is my mustache right now, it's so long. Mm-hmm. I haven't trimmed it in like months that I can like eat it.
Yeah, I started doing that too.
I try to avoid
or
that
I'll kiss my wife and it'll be like getting up her nose or on her in her mouth. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think like for me it was I had a bloody nose. I was running, and as soon as I was done with the run, for some reason I just had a bloody nose, and I'm washing it out, and I'm like, this is kind of gross. Like for me personally, I just didn't like it. So I was like, well, November's pretty much over. I might as well shave it off. So try to keep the clean shave look, or at least just the
baby face,
the 5 o'clock shadow,
baby face.
Yeah. Working out more, trying to work out more, trying to be healthy.
Yeah.
That's my new thing.
It sucks.
I'm doing the opposite. Not working out, not being healthy.
Yeah. I'm just trying to eat just normal stuff. That's it.
What's normal stuff?
Like, not stuff out of a box.
Not processed.
Not processed.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily clean eating, because if I was clean eating, I'd already be done. Like, I had like carne asada with, like it's not super clean eating, but
just trying to cut out a lot of the box food, the fast food.
Yeah, definitely.
I know what you mean.
That's, I think, the easiest is cutting out fast food.
Sometimes.
You'd think.
Sometimes.
And then you realize it's like a drug. Because then you go outside and you're like,
or when you're like,
fast food.
Like you smell fast food.
Yeah, or you realize it's actually less work to go to the grocery store or to go to the fast food place than go to the grocery store, buy the food, take it home, prep it, and when you can just go, Taco Bell and get a taco or something.
That's why I'm doing a free plug here to Aldi. Aldi grocery stores. Cheap, inexpensive, delicious food, easy to make.
All processed except for the produce and the meat.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. That's the only downside is, I shop there too.
Yeah.
Plug it twice. Yeah, I like that place. I mean, it's very affordable.
Aldi, you hear that? Pay these guys. And while you're at it, pay me too.
Wow.
I'm here. I started it.
Yeah, first guest. How does it feel being the first guest?
I'm honored, guys. Thank you.
Were you surprised when we asked you?
Kind of.
Yeah, because you're like, why would you pick me?
Yeah.
Whoa, okay. I didn't say that. No, when you asked me, for some reason, I don't know, you texted me like kind of early. Well, you said it was early, but I woke up like 15 minutes after you texted me. But, you were like, oh, what are you doing Friday? And for some reason, I thought it was a group text. I thought you were texting like a bunch of the guys. So I just answered you, and then, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Oh, podcast, cool, yeah. Let me know what everyone else says. And you're like, it's just you. And I'm like, oh, awesome. Cool. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Because I don't know, I wouldn't be able to fit everybody here at once. And plus, I want to have an extended amount of guests. Because, I mean, like, it'd be nice to have...
You gotta save other people.
Yeah. And I feel like it's awesome to bounce stuff off of you and then have Langdon here also so we can kind of riff on that.
And develop some more ideas.
Yeah, because, I mean, Langdon and I talk a lot. I mean, we could talk for hours.
More than we should.
Yeah, more than we should. But then there would be a lot of awkward pauses and we'd be like, so... what's going on?
So,
you know.
what now?
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to, like, go into our corner and think of some more stuff.
Or we'd have a ton of just inside jokes that nobody would get.
No, okay.
So, yeah, that's
Yeah. I think that's going to be the hardest part is just trying to clue people in on the dynamic of everyone that's coming in. Like, obviously, people don't know how we know Adam as a guest. But
I made them who they are now.
Yeah. Well, another thing too is once we've done a couple more podcasts, we could actually start doing specific, criteria for the podcast. So the next time Adam's on, it might be something that he has his expertise in, and we can actually bring up just other stuff besides the channel. We can actually start talking about anything else, anything. So
yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
just bring in a bottle of whiskey. We could
there we go. We could do that.
Try to rate the bottle of whiskey. Like, look at some story ideas.
Yeah.
There we go.
And I think it's going to be cool when you guys bring in more guests, like the combination of guests. Like, I mean, you two, and then you guys are going to be the constant, but then, like, you bring me in, and then, like, if it's me and John or, JJ and, it's going to be different people. It's going to have a different dynamic.
Exactly.
But we got to have one where it's like everybody.
Dude, party one.
Party one.
Yeah, definitely.
Got to up the equipment. The equipment.
Yeah, once we can actually handle having that many people here.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's probably about time we end this. What do you say?
I think it's too early.
How long has it been?
32 minutes, and I think both cameras have stopped recording.
It's just starting, man.
Yeah.
I can let me double check this camera.
Okay.
You would
pause.
Adam, talk real quick. Okay, well, that one's on. So
is it still recording?
Yeah, it's going to record now. So
okay.
Sorry for that interruption. We'll have a fancy graphic for you
that he makes.
That I make. So, what kind of endeavors do you have going, Adam?
Wrong button.
Okay.
It's the red circle.
Yeah, I think you hit the wrong button.
Oh, there we go. So we'll probably not have audio of their face because our
audio of our face. You mean?
Sorry, video of the. Sorry,
no.
you caught me.
No, and just everybody that is listening. Keep in mind, it's our first one, so obviously we're gonna have
technical difficulties.
Yeah, technical difficulties, and
this is gonna be so cringy.
we have
it's fun.
Flow.
Yeah.
And it's gonna take a while for you guys to get it together.
Well, not just that, but do people really watch podcasts or do they listen to them?
Mostly listen.
I mostly listen too. Not gonna lie, I might be far away from my mic.
That's fine.
Sorry about that.
It's all right.
You got to get all situated again.
Yeah, I got to get situated. So, obviously, some people listening know what you're interested in, but what are your main interests, Adam? Like, what do you do?
You want me to tell you my main interests?
Yeah.
Well, I play music, play guitar, I play video games, I work in marketing. That's me.
That's great.
It's my life.
That's great.
There we go.
Great.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. No, yeah.
I know you've been mostly into music, so like all this audio stuff is probably you're probably like, oh, this is all cringeworthy. Amateur hour over here.
No. I can't. I'm concentrating on the clipping of the audio, but it's not going to be bad.
No, I should probably just like do this.
Yep, that's better.
And do this.
Thank you. That's even better. He closed all of the windows. And all of the windows.
If you have some video left, which there might be on one of the cameras that's operating.
Yeah, you'll see.
You'll see it.
Yeah. No, I actually have been trying to write more music. I haven't had time really. and haven't really had any ideas, but I'm trying to make an effort to write more music, like personal music, write and record my own. Like you said, I have experience in recording on a computer, recording music on my own. So that's something I'm trying to do. It's easier said than done.
Yeah.
Finding time and coming up with ideas. And I've been wanting to try to talk to JJ, who's a drummer friend of ours, to try to get a jam with him and try to maybe just do like a 2-person.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, that'd be cool. Is it mostly like guitar riffs?
Guitar riffs. No vocals. I can't sing. Guitar playing, bass. I've recorded some music a few years ago. It's guitar, bass, drums. I don't play the drums recording. It's programmed, through my keyboard, but it's playing the drums through a keyboard. And then anything else, I do synth. I've played synth or piano, things like that.
So what kind of, I don't want to like categorize what you're doing, but what kind of style is it?
It's a little bit of everything. At the time when I was doing it, it was a lot of like rock and blues with a little bit of like electronic. It was kind of weird. It was a weird time of my life when I was trying to do a lot of combining like guitar, like rock with like electronic synth or electronic beats. That kind of really interested me. And it was at the same time when I was doing it, I was like teaching myself how to record music. So a lot of it is real crappy quality.
And just experimental.
Experimental. Yeah. Just kind of like
let's just
recording.
See what
I was writing and recording music at the same time as learning how to record music.
So I'm like, how do you, I couldn't even imagine how you write music. Like I try to think, my mind doesn't work that way. I don't know how to write that stuff. You know what I mean? Like it just seems like so like abstract in my mind.
When I say write, I have before, but usually I don't really write down music. I like with this, the music I did before, it was mainly just sitting at my computer with my guitar.
Recording.
Just record. I'd come up with a guitar riff or a guitar part and then build off of that. Or I'd come up with a bass line or a drum part and build it off of that. And then record it, stay up all night recording it.
So it sounds like a lot of similar process to our story.
Probably, yeah. a lot of like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Erase, go back,
honestly,
re-record.
A lot of they're projects, you know what I mean? A lot of projects take, you look at it and you're like, I need to change this. Like, to a lot of things. Like, I work with some graphics on the occasion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of that where you're like, this part isn't good. I gotta change it. I gotta change it like now.
The worst is when you make so many changes that you just hate the whole project in general.
Like you don't like, but then some people actually like it and you're just like, I don't see it.
Well, you're your biggest critic. And I actually, here's another plug. I actually recorded an album that you can actually purchase online, on CD Baby.
What?
Well, yes.
How is this the first time I'm hearing
You've never heard of this?
Is the artist name Atom Bomb? That's important.
No, I wish. That's a great name.
It's under Tothster, Tothster.
It's just as good.
Yeah. So yeah, you can buy it on CD Baby. I'll give Josh the link to supply it. You guys can buy it. I've made one sale so far, and it was my wife, then girlfriend, now wife. And I told her I'm mad at her still because I told her, I'm like, I would have given it to you for free. I got $6. Yeah.
Now that's in your same account.
Yeah, that's in my same account. So technically, I bought my album. Yeah.
Wow,
that's awesome.
I didn't know. How long ago was that?
2013, 14, 3 or 4 years ago.
So what happened? What happened?
Well, that's the thing. I hate it. I go back and I listen to it and I hate it. There's like 2 songs that I'm like, that's pretty good. I'm happy with those. But everything else, I'm like, it it was I don't know. Like I said, I was kind of just experimenting with recording music and writing. So it's, kind of different, but yeah, you can purchase it. It's a bunch of different kinds of styles.
Yeah, we definitely need to plug that. Plug it more.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. I'll freaking give you guys the album and you guys can just drop some songs into the intro, outro.
Maybe we can use it for, intro, outro.
Yeah.
In the
please, yes. Free. I'll just do it for free.
We'll monetize it right now.
Yes.
The artist said
yes. Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of like lately I've been kind of thinking like, I kind of want to start having ideas for more music and I kind of want to write more, but I also want to because before it was just me, I kind of want to incorporate other musician friends of mine.
There you go.
To kind of, collaborate with me, not just me to play everything, bring in my buddies that can play instruments and, record.
I think it's crazy because I feel like people have a hard time doing things that they enjoy besides, or after work, I guess, like when it comes to like creative stuff like this, like where we do the podcast or you do your music, you know what I mean? Like, I think more people need to do that. Just or try stuff.
Or just to explore their creative side in general.
Yeah. Instead of just like sitting in front of it. Not that there's anything wrong with sitting in front of a TV because we all do it. I mean, we all love movies and anime and,
Oh, you said anime.
I said anime because it's its own category.
It's out. Yeah. It's out.
Oh no.
It's out. Yeah. That's real right there.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. It's like, I totally understand. I'm like, I want to record. I have these ideas for some songs or this riff. I want to record it. But then I get home, I'm sitting in traffic for an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. Then I get home and I have dinner and I'm tired. And I'm like, I just want to watch TV with my wife or I just want to game and then go to bed, Yeah,
I think we should make time for that though too. I think.
Yeah.
I think it's a benefit more than anything. Like even if it's just one time a week or whatever the case is.
And a lot of it is like I have to. The big thing is thing I have to deal with is like setting up my rig. I have an audio interface I have to set up, plug in, get on my computer, set up the recording software. I mean, look at this setup, you guys. We have to. There's a whole ordeal, like similar to for recording,
And then I'm sure you have to deal with the same thing we do with when you're recording. There's always background sounds, and you're like, crap, there goes that segment. You got to delete that.
Yeah, or like I practice the riff or a guitar part a few times, and I'm like, all right, I got it down, and then I hit record, click track counts me in, I get it, and my finger slips, and one note rings that's not supposed to ring, or I mess up the timing or something, and I'm like, it's just frustrating.
It's just the process, man. It's just when you just start out, like these cameras turning off. They're probably off now. Yeah. So you're probably just hearing our audio now.
Maybe we'll upload some pictures or something.
Yeah, we'll upload pictures of cats and rainbows and unicorns. So, the total what the channel's about.
Cats,
anime. Oh crap,
anime. Yeah. Let's talk about anime.
Oh god.
What are you watching anime?
I haven't watched anime in years. I don't really watch anime.
We're experts.
I know.
Unfortunately,
I know.
Spend too much time.
There's so many.
Unfortunately, I take it as a badge of honor. I love that. I love that stuff.
Yeah, I like it too. I mean, like when I think of anime, I'm thinking of like Dragon Ball Z, One Piece.
Yeah. One Piece is
Death Note.
Amazing,
yeah.
By the way.
Yeah.
460 something episodes in.
I think I stopped at like 120.
Like 467 episodes.
Are they still going strong? Or are they going to cancel it at all or stop it at all?
No, it's supposed to keep going. That's
forever.
I could be wrong, but I think they're on episode 800 something.
For subbed, yeah.
For subbed, yeah. They've definitely
800 something.
Yeah, talk about with that series alone, there's a ton of emotion and tons of different stories and a ton of character development. Like, you really care about a lot of the characters that are involved, especially in the sagas, because there's a ton of sagas and seasons. So, just seeing the interactions and the changes in the characters over time. Because when you go through an 800 episode series, you do see this arc of character building and change throughout the whole thing. Like the same, let's say Luffy, the main character of One Piece, in episode 1 is, you know,
completely
different from
Right.
episode 800 and whatever they're on right now.
So where I know you can watch it on the streaming services, right? But where does it really show? Is there in Japan? Is there like a channel? Do you know if there's like a special channel? Like
I've heard, you know, that like it's just a regular thing on TV, just all different types of anime. But honestly, I don't know exactly how it works over there.
But I know over here it's mainly like streaming services, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's mainly streaming services.
And then was it Adult Swim? I think has some or
Adult Swim.
We just
Oh,
put Adult Swim.
Yeah.
Good thing we're not monetizing this because then they'd probably take it down.
You guys could.
Yeah, no. I
Well,
think
you know,
can
I work in marketing. I can off of mic. I was going to talk to you guys off of mic how you guys can monetize this later. But,
There we go.
Yeah.
Maybe
Later,
we'll have to talk to you
possibly.
about that. Definitely
Options. You don't have to, but I could give you options. Yeah.
But yeah, Funimation is one of the huge streaming services.
that's what I watch most of mine on.
Yeah, I mean it's a huge. I'm bringing up the page right now, and I mean there's a ton of there's this thing called Simuldub, which is an exclusive with Funimation to where they, if I'm correct,
they dub it the same time that it releases. So that's they were doing
That's
that for
really smart.
Hero Academia, which was awesome. So basically, as soon as it comes out, it's already dubbed. Because I can't watch subbed. I just don't have the patience to read while I'm watching it. So
I get tired.
there's nothing wrong with subbed,
yeah,
but it's more of like, I get lazy and don't want to read it. But there's some interesting things if you do start watching a series subbed, because you do gain this like, I don't know, you gain this connection with the characters too.
Well, there's a lot of things too that subbed would be better. I've heard a lot of arguments because primarily watching dubbed, I get a lot of crap for it. But I actually had a friend that told me with Sword Art Online, in the dub version, since it's in English, the main character always tell the girl, "I love you." Once they start the relationship, he says, "I love you" a bunch of times. But I guess in Japan, it's a lot more rare to say "I love you." They'll say "I like you" in their language, obviously.
Oh, okay.
And so in the sub version, you know, he says "I like you" all this time. And at the very end, whenever it's super dramatic, he actually breaks and says, "I love you." And so it's like way more emotional.
Oh, so the build up.
Yeah, you're not just watching, "Oh, he said I love you" again. It's like, "Oh,
That
crap,
makes
he
sense.
actually admitted to loving the character now." So
Unless you're talking about Future Diary. If you guys don't know, Future Diary is crazy. It's like, I don't even know how to describe that anime. I mean, I should bring up like a synopsis and just read it. But then I'm like...
Yeah. Save it for the anime episode. Save it for the anime
bring it up
podcast.
another time or something.
Wow. I really love that one. I have a very... I love a character in that show.
That's
Just
like your
because she's
favorite.
so crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's one thing is like I appreciate the crazy.
Yeah,
And
that's
some things. Some things.
A lot of like the anime that I remember watching, like I said, it was like Dragon Ball Z and like One Piece. But I remember way back, like you brought up Adult Swim. I remember watching Gundam Wing.
Yep.
And Rurouni Kenshin?
Yes.
Oh, those
was
are
like
OG.
yes, that was like that was the stuff, man. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I think that's on Netflix now, and I added that to my list, and I have yet to watch it. I just need to binge it.
I was like, if you do like the old style Gundam series, G Gundam is one of the best Gundam shows
I don't
I've
know
seen personally.
which one it was, but I remember it was on not Adult Swim. It was on Toonami, and it was like the block was like, I think it was Gundam, and then it was Sailor Moon, and then it was Dragon Ball Z, and it was like
I
that
remember
2
that.
hours or an
Killer
hour and a
block.
half,
Yeah.
and I would be in the front of the TV, man, like just
That
watching
was the thing.
That was
Japanese
like-
cartoons.
That was like in 2000, wasn't it? Like 2000, 2001.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dang.
I was like 10, 11, or 12, something like that. Yeah.
You just age yourself, bro.
Well, they're gonna be surprised when they see the video. Like, that guy's only 27, 26, 27. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like he's 40.
That was a killer block. I remember coming home after school trying to avoid homework or get it done as fast as I can because I was watching Dragon Ball Z, the Frieza series.
Oh, that was OG Super
Saiyan.
That was the best one, man.
Yeah.
I remember like watching the episode when Goku first, like the major milestones when Goku first turns Super Saiyan after Frieza kills Krillin and
yeah. I just watched a recap of that recently.
Yeah.
Actually, I watched a recap of all the Saiyan power-ups.
Transformations.
There you go. That's a better word.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched the new one, Dragon Ball Super?
I've watched the transformations in Super. They're awesome.
It's good, but the one thing that I'm going to catch so much shit for saying this, but I feel like they should have upgraded their, maybe their animation or the way that they draw it or whatever it is. It feels like I'm watching the old one, but not in a good way, if that makes sense.
Mm.
I know I'll probably get a lot of crap for saying that. It's just a personal preference. So
yeah, I mean, I thought it was just I guess it would be like One Piece. Like One Piece had a very like I don't know how to explain this. It had a very at home feel with that old style. Like it was kind of like grainy and unfocused-ish, I guess you would say. Like it just wasn't as clean. Like now it's like super clean lines, super clean animation. Like especially with like the attacks and stuff, super nice. Like in my opinion, and I think it was similar to, I think it is similar to Super in that way.
Yeah,
to me, because I like seeing those upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Rurouni Kenshin, that anime was really good, just because that was actually my first like samurai-ish animes to watch.
Yeah. I think mine was Samurai Champloo.
Yeah, that's a great one too. I mean, I haven't, and it's a shame I have to say this, but I haven't watched it all the way through yet.
Yeah.
I know it's great.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's like one of those like Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, the same
Dandy.
The guy that wrote the music for like all the music for Cowboy Bebop is the same one for Samurai Champloo and the third one I'm spacing on. I can't remember which anime it was, but it's in that same type where it's not
Dimension
anime,
W, is it?
But what is it? No, it's one of the older classics where it's anime, but he like fuses like a Japanese with a certain genre, so makes it like its own.
Cowboy
almost.
Bebop,
Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, and there's a third one.
Oh,
I can't remember what it is. I'll have to look it up another time. Maybe I'll bring it up.
Oh, like the genre you're saying? You're talking about the genre?
No, he basically what it is he uses
it's a jazzy style.
like he mixes a lot of styles together.
Oh,
where,
music.
like,
Talking about the music.
Yes,
yeah.
like because Samurai Champloo takes place in the Edo period, he uses that type of music and mixes it with like hip hop.
Yeah.
And that's what for Samurai Champloo. With Cowboy Bebop, it's
jazz and outer space.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just mixing two genres, and he does that for a third anime, and I can't remember which anime it is.
Interesting.
I'll have to look it up.
I do have this like crazy love for mecha anime.
Yeah, that's weird.
Which is like Big O,
Weirdo,
Gundam,
Ew,
Gurren Lagann, or I probably butchered that name, but those are my favorite.
That's good.
Love that shit. Love it so much.
Yeah.
Parasite, trippy.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Any thoughts?
I don't know.
I mean,
I'm real behind on anime.
You need to just watch that. What do you watch? What do you watch right now?
Right now we're watching a lot of stuff on Netflix. We just watched Punisher.
Oh,
that was good.
I'm in the mid.
Dude.
No spoilers, but it's good.
It is very
so
good.
Really
I'm
good.
on like episode 6 or 7.
Oh,
I would say.
yeah.
Like halfway.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the best Marvel Netflix shows.
I'm not going to say how, but I'm at the point to where he's injured. Where
yeah, don't spoil anything because then people are going to freaking blacklist us. So.
He's injured. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, I think I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say the build-up is pretty good. I'd say just like the development was super awesome. Like you actually see him as like a person. You know what I mean? Not just like a anti-hero.
Yeah.
I think they just did it in a good light, I think.
The best thing I think with this one is the Punisher, if you read the comics originally, he was ruthless. He didn't care.
Yeah.
He didn't he didn't sacrifice anything. He didn't take it easy on the criminals. He did what he needed to do, and if he killed whatever he needed to kill. And with the original or with the movies that came out a couple of years ago, the one scene that sticks out in my mind right now is the when he has the blowtorch on the steak and the popsicle, and he makes the guy think that he's blowtorching him. It's like the Punisher would have just done it. He wouldn't have, he wouldn't have made him think. He would have just used a blowtorch on him. And that's what this new one. That's how he is. He's badass. He does what he needs to do, and he gets the job done.
Especially him, and him in Daredevil season 2.
Yeah,
that was an awesome
tie-in.
Yeah, have you seen the second season of?
I haven't even watched Daredevil.
You should watch Daredevil. I think it's. At first I thought that was like the best Marvel Netflix show. And I still think it's up there.
Oh, really?
Until I saw Punisher, I'm like, I think it's a tie now. But yeah, Daredevil's really good. And Punisher's in the second season of Daredevil. That's where he's introduced.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is it okay? Where in the arc or not arc, but timeline do these series exist? Like, is Daredevil like the first, and then
it's
Punisher?
all over the place because you have. Daredevil, Jessica Jones,
Luke Cage,
and Iron Fist.
Yeah.
And they all tie into each other in some way. And so I think the correct way is Daredevil first season is the first one, then Jessica Jones, then Luke Cage, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And basically, you can go back and forth. And they all kind of they all have some sort of connection.
So like you could watch them out of order, but you could like pick things out of it and be like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, you'll notice when you watch one, you're gonna say like, oh, hey, that event happened late season in this one, or
they
certain
reference
events that tie in together.
Yeah, and they reference other like Marvel Netflix shows, and they even reference like the Marvel movies, like the Avengers and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's super cool.
Yeah.
I do like that. They're building an empire over there.
Yeah, have you guys seen the trailer for the Avengers movie?
Yes, Infinity War.
Looks awesome.
It does look so good.
So many superheroes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they built this empire to make that movie.
Just to think they're going to kill all of them off. No, I'm kidding.
all the millions, or I guess, would it be billions now?
Probably. Billions of dollars
in these in this movie franchise to build this
like
one movie.
Well, if you think like
it's not going to end like everything.
No, they have they could dig deep with their superhero roster.
Oh, that's why comic books are so prolific, is because they go in different arcs and
Well, Marvel's already shown that they're not afraid to change the original content with like the Civil War. They changed a lot of stuff from the comic. Yeah. With just how the events started and, how they ended and everything. So they're not afraid to change it to what they think would be better or just, better for cinema. So that's really cool that they did a good job with that. So with the new one, even if you've read the comics and you're like, oh, I know this guy's going to die. I know this is how it's supposed to end. I know this, and this. It might not necessarily be that way. So it's still new to somebody that loves the comic series. And that's another thing that's so awesome about the way they're doing it.
They did that with they're doing that with The Walking Dead too. I don't know if you guys watch The Walking Dead. Yeah,
I am not caught up at all. I gave up. I was just like, I'm done.
There's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I stopped at the prison.
This is coming from the guy
you're way behind me.
Yeah, that was the last time I watched it.
This is coming from the guy that watches 467 episodes of anime.
Okay, so we know where your heart lies.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So. Lost my train of thought. I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
Somebody just got shot. I don't know if that picked up on the mics.
On the microphone? Yeah. Fireworks.
Dude, you don't get the fireworks over here, do you? Doesn't have fireworks, or you do? Can you see them?
No, I can't see them from here.
We're placing ourselves where we're at.
Yeah,
that's fine.
We're not that close.
We're not close.
Can't see them.
You cannot see them.
You're not within 1,000 yards.
It's not like if we look west, we can see them. No.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Movies. Some movies that are coming out. There's some cool movies coming out. Some real cool ones. Like Pacific Rim 2.
Oh, yeah. When's that coming out?
It's coming out in, I don't want to say the wrong thing. It's coming out soon.
Still haven't seen the first one.
You're kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. I have it on DVD. I need to watch it. I know. I have it on DVD. I bought it. It was on sale at Target for like a Black Friday a few years ago, and I'm like, it's like $3 or $4 something. I'm like, I'll buy it.
It's so cheesy. It's awesome.
It looks cool. Yeah.
It's so cheesy.
But it's
awesome.
still in its wrapper. Still in the packaging. Just haven't watched it.
Charlie Hunnam is good in that.
Yeah, I bet you like it.
Oh, I love him. So awesome. Yeah. Seriously.
Is he going to be in the second one or no?
No, he's not. It's going to be John Boyega. From Star Wars.
Yeah. Star Wars is coming out.
Oh, yeah, Star Wars. Are you guys excited?
Yes.
Because, I'm kind of a Star Wars fan.
I love Star Wars.
I like the Star Wars universe. I do like it.
I love Star Wars. Yeah.
So, I haven't even... I know, this is a disgrace. I haven't even seen the 2 new movies.
Wait, which ones?
Force Awakens and Rogue One?
Yeah. I haven't seen
Oh, my goodness. They're already out on like DVD and everything.
They're
Aren't they?
I know. I haven't even,
man.
I haven't even had an opportunity.
I think Rogue One's on Netflix.
Yeah, it is.
I haven't even had an opportunity to watch it yet.
Stop watching anime and watch Star Wars.
Catch up on that.
Stop watching anime, you nerd, and watch Star Wars.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
And we're like, at one time we started playing Star Wars D&D.
Dude, you brought that up, and I've been wanting to play. Do you still have that? Do you still play? Or?
We do still have the stuff set up for it. We just haven't had a good enough crew that can meet often enough to do it.
Yeah, that's the
so
part.
we should totally do a Star Wars D&D podcast. That would be awesome.
I feel like
I'm down.
It would be extended.
Just record while we play.
Yeah, I mean,
no one's going to
very
listen
specific
to it.
audience there, I believe. But
well, that's like with anything, though. Like,
yeah, I just think that's a little bit more specific because it's not like if you're a Star Wars fan, you're going to enjoy Star Wars D&D. Like you got to be a D&D fan that likes Star Wars.
Actually,
that's or you
could or people could just like us.
Maybe there we go.
I think it's crazy because D&D is coming back in a strong way.
I've never played D&D. I want to.
I didn't know.
Yeah, like I know. I mean, it might just be the people I know,
or maybe because you're getting into it.
Huh?
Maybe because you're getting into it.
Maybe.
So you're just noticing that there's more people that are interested.
The psychology.
There's
crazy.
There's a website called like Roll20.net, I think it's called, and you can just you can pay money or you can do free. You can just sign up for online D&D campaigns.
Oh, that's actually
and it's trippy. Idea. And I've been wanting to do it, but the thing is there are none that are right now. It's not like you can.
Yeah, they're on the middle.
Well, no, it's like you can't log on and be like, I want to start playing right now. It's like you log on and then it's like, we have space for 3 more people, right? Let's say 6 people. All right, there's 3 people already. There's total 6 people. Sign up. It's Friday night at 8:30. Pacific time in this, so you have to set aside time.
Yeah,
you have to plan it. Which boohoo, I have to plan. It's but me, I'm me how I am. I'm like, I want to play D&D right now. I have some time, and it's crap. I have to wait till 3 days from now till
Yeah. Well, I think it's like anything you do in regular life, like airsoft or paintball.
But if I'm going to plan to play D&D, I might as well just hit up you guys and be like, let's play Star Wars D&D. I don't want to play online with strangers.
Yeah. I think also, with you bringing up the paintball and airsoft thing, it's something you got to be passionate about. It's hard to try to get into something that extensive if you're not sure if you're going to like it. If it's I'm going to try this out. Any D&D, Star Wars D&D, regular D&D, any of that stuff is it takes time, effort, and especially if you're playing with people that know what they're doing, they don't want to take the time to deal with beginners because that's not as fun as everybody knowing how to play, knowing what certain things are, and getting in there and just rolling and having fun.
True.
Yeah,
I agree with that. Speaking of airsoft, there's actually an airsoft milsim event coming up next weekend that I'll be attending. Operation Lion Claw. It's cartel wars, basically. There's a militant side, and then there's a rogue, militia side, I guess you would call it. Just ragtag army side, which We're signed up as the Ragtag Army side.
Nice.
It's cool.
Fits.
And it does fit because it's like we're gonna be wearing flannels and in chest rigs and freaking saws and.
It's cool.
For all that don't know what airsoft is, basically actually Langdon can probably explain it better than I could.
Well, I mean, it's basically, toy guns in a sense that shoot these little BBs. You play with there's a lot of different types of ways to play, but the big ways are, you have a scenario where you go into like a town or woods or something like that, and you just shoot each other. You start on one side, both people start on one side, and somebody starts on the other. Then you start trying to shoot each other. And elimination, once you get hit, one shot, you're out. Raise your hand, go out. Whoever has people standing at the end wins.
So is it like a honor system?
Yeah. I'm personally not a big fan of airsoft as much as I am paintball. I grew up in paintball.
Yeah.
Because in paintball, if I hit you in the mask, you're out. Like you can't see me, you can't see anything. You're done. You got to get out. Airsoft, especially with the balls being smaller, it's half the time some people don't even feel it. Especially when they have, because they're also a lot more milsim style, where they'll actually have rigs, they'll have gear, pads,
protection,
stuff where like they might not even feel getting shot. You shoot them somewhere like in the back when they have a whole chest rig on with an armor plate. They might hear it, but if they're running and you get shot in the back, they're not even going to notice.
Yeah.
So it's just not as rewarding, I guess, because paintball, if I shoot you in the back, and you don't feel it, there's probably going to be a ref nearby. I can, hey, he's hit, and the ref's going to pull you out.
So that I'm willing to. I want to try airsoft and or paintball just because like when you're saying the scenarios, like going like sweeping buildings or going in like the woods or something. That just sounds fun to me, man.
It's super fun. It's like you're going out and just playing with your friends, like how you would as a kid. Like seriously, that's what it's like. Like if you're like laying down there in some brush. And it's seriously adrenaline when you're hearing shots whiz by your ear, but it's not as intense as like obviously the real thing. It's not the real thing. Just
another thing too is it's for anybody that's kind of thinking about getting into it's not necessarily milsim or military simulation. Like there's a lot of people that just play to play. Like they go out there because they want to play paintball. They don't want to dress up in camo. They don't want to do military type tactics. They just want to go out, hide behind a tree, and shoot back at something.
Oh no! See, I'm more like military simulation kind of like,
and that's fun.
Sweeping buildings or that's
cool because you get the
can
cool,
do that
legit gear because they make legit gear. Like it's almost real gear, almost. Seriously, it's like interchangeable, freaking
some stuff,
not obviously everything. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah,
but it's gonna be fun. It's my first milsim event, so I don't necessarily know what to expect. So
expect a lot of people that are very gung-ho in a good way. In a good way,
very serious.
Yes, they take it. It's kind of like D&D in a sense because you have guys that are just super into it.
I guess it's like
they don't want you to ruin their fun. So they want it to be as realistic as possible. So if you're kind of joking and smoking and laughing, and you wouldn't laugh in a war zone, would you? And in a sense, it's cool. You want to go out there and you want to milsim. That's why it's called milsim.
Yeah.
And so in a sense, if that's what you're into and that's what you want to do, it's fun. But the way I play personally, I don't like it because, I do like to joke. I do like to have fun. And sometimes they just don't like when I do that. So
see, I would want a balance between the two. Joking around, but also, kind of taking it seriously.
For the most part, if you go to your local field, like, if you just go wherever's close by, that's kind of the experience you're going to get where you can joke around. But then also, if you want to go sweep a room and there's one there, like you can do that. So you take a friend and you can practice tactics or you can just, smoke and joke. So.
Who knows? I don't know the type of people that are going. I know I'm going to be the saw gunner for our little unit.
There you go.
So I'll have the M249 with a box mag, which has 6,000 BBs in it. So I'm not going to have to reload very much.
Oh, there you go.
So we'll see. I'll have people clearing ahead of me, and I'll just need to try to clear the way. So it'll be cool.
Sounds fun. Where is it at?
Hesperia, actually. If you go to Operation Lion Claw, which we'll plug those guys too. They are putting on this event.
Plug everybody.
Yeah, plugging everybody this time. bring out all the love because we want people to watch this.
Just for now, though. From now on, you guys shouldn't plug anybody unless you're getting cash. No,
or unless we like it.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
We're not, obviously right now, you guys know, we're saying it's legit cool because it's legit cool, not because we're getting paid by them. So.
But in the future, you guys are going to get paid. No.
No, it's not all about the money. So.
Yeah.
Some about the money, but not all about the money.
This weekend.
Because obviously we got to get better equipment. As you can tell, our cameras are down, so.
Yeah.
I keep hearing clicking like it's taking pictures of me or something.
It might be.
Probably.
It might be. Might be like spying on you, Adam.
Yeah.
Like secretly recording you so I could use it later.
Oh.
Dirty. I just say clicked. This weekend, Rachel and I we're doing this, it's called CERT training, Community Emergency Response Team. It's all day tomorrow, 8 to 5, and 8 to 5 or at 5:30 on Sunday. And it's learning how to do like emergency response. So if there's like earthquake or
That's awesome.
Yeah. So like community.
So first responder stuff, basically, right?
Similar to that. Like we're going to learn how to, I guess we get to use like a fire extinguisher, and we're going to learn like evacuation tactics, and
that's good. Yeah.
It seems pretty interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I think it's important that, a lot of people should know that stuff.
Well, yeah.
Especially the people around you. I mean, everybody should be getting that kind of education for like, just for
emergency
living
situations.
Yeah, it's for emergency. Yeah.
Just for living.
Yeah.
You never know when something's going to happen.
And it's like when I was when we worked for the city, when I was a lifeguard for the city, that was like part of our job. We worked for the city. So you're a first responder, emergency responder for the city. But we never really got trained in this. We got trained in like first aid and CPR, but that was for our job. But we didn't really know how to do evacuation tactics.
Or how to work with other departments. Or
work other
else.
departments, fire extinguish, things like that. Like, I don't know even what else we're going to be doing, but it seems, it's going to be pretty cool.
That's awesome. I think it's definitely a useful skill. I mean, I've been trained on first response and life saving and stuff like that too. So I definitely understand that. And obviously in the job I work now, I'm like, I need to know that stuff too.
Yeah.
So
maybe a little.
But
it's good to know it no matter where you're at or what you're doing,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you move back to that Milsim thing with the airsoft thing, Milsim is kind of just like D&D, but for airsoft. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're physically doing it. That's exactly what it is. It's military D&D.
I guess, yeah. And there's people that are super enthusiastic about it.
Yeah, in order to actually train your attributes, you actually have to do it. Yeah. So if you want to be strong, you want to have an 18 in strength, you got to go work out at the gym.
You got to go lift. You got to do good.
If you want to be able to shoulder the saw for freaking 30 minutes at a time, you got to be able to do those freaking shoulder presses.
But there's nothing really you can do about your luck. You're kind of just born with that. So sorry.
If you suck, right?
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've been paintballing now.
What was that, September?
I think so.
That was a fun one.
It was a good event though. Yeah, I mean that was cool because it was like, I guess the not as strict, style where you just go and have fun and it's a big game.
Well, the cool thing about that one was you did have people that were milsim that go out and do their thing, but they understood it was just a big game event where there's just a lot of people playing together. So if you want to go out and just have fun, do whatever, you can do that. If you want to do tactics, you can do that. If you want to get super realistic and do missions, you can do that. If you want to just sit out the games and eat, you can do that. So whatever you want to do.
Yeah, we even camped.
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it was like a giant event, like a festival kind of thing?
Yeah, pretty much. Basically what they would do is they'd say, hey, we're starting this mission. This is what's going to happen. And if you wanted to jump on the mission and do like tasks, it was like, oh, there's parts for a rocket we have to build. And you have to go out and get the parts for the rocket. Or you could just go out and try to take people out. So go back and forth, do whatever you want to do. Yeah, it was awesome.
It was all paintball?
Yeah, it's paintball.
All
I've
paintball.
never been paintballing.
Oh, you should go.
We will take you.
Yeah, you should go with us.
That's
Dude,
what
I
we
told
probably
you.
play the most.
I told you if you have gear I could borrow and use,
definitely.
Dude,
I'm down.
Definitely.
I have
Yeah.
way more than I should.
Yeah,
It's like, it's not like hunting, but you're like, it's just like, it's an awesome feeling to be able to shoot out people knowing that.
It's very similar to the most dangerous game. You're trying not to get shot, and you're trying to shoot them.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Battle
like
Royale.
you don't actually. I mean, you can hurt someone. I'm not saying it's not dangerous, but you know that they're gonna be safe for the most part. As long as they're doing the right things, they're gonna be safe. So
Unless you shoot someone in the nuts, that always hurts.
I shot Langdon in the nuts.
Oh, that was on purpose too. I swear.
you would.
Bad. It was
Dude,
bad.
You would too.
Well, it was like drilling, and I just
Yeah,
I just drilled him in the nuts like as much as I could.
It was bad. It was basically practice snap shooting. For anybody that doesn't know, snap shooting is basically when you're hiding behind a bunker and you want to poke out real quick, take a shot, come back in, minimize your chance of getting shot while throwing a shot out. That's it. And we were practicing snap shooting, and it kind of just got a little not heated, but we were just really into it and decided to bunker each other at the same time. So we're both out in the open. And he just started lighting me up. I was lighting him up. I was shooting him in the face. He was shooting me in the nuts. It was just a bad day.
We know where your priorities are, Josh.
Yeah, I was gonna say no one really won in that situation, but still, I mean, I didn't get hit in the nuts.
Was that when you got a fat lip, or was that a different time?
That was a different day.
That was a different day.
That was a good one, though.
Yeah, that was a terrible. I mean, if anybody listening right now is aware of what it's like to play speedball, it's intense. It's an intense form of paintball. Basically, I mean, Langdon can probably explain what speedball is.
The easiest way to explain it is you're basically playing paintball with a shooting as fast as you can. Sometimes there's a cap on a little bit bigger than a basketball court with blow-up bunkers, or sometimes there's hard bunkers, and very, CQB if you want to use military terms. The furthest you're going to get shot from is like 50 meters. So it's really close, really fast, and there's two different sides. So you have your Dorito side, which is your taller bunkers. Typically, your bigger guys play that side, and then you have your Snake, which is the probably the best bunker on the field because it puts you all the way down on the opponent's side. Josh, being smaller, if you saw the video, if we actually get the video uploaded, is really good at Snake because it's a small bunker. So he was playing Snake, and it was one of the blow-up bunkers, and basically he got to the 50. Is that what it was?
No, actually, I was at Snake 1 because I was trading shots with...
So the beginning of the Snake.
Yeah, because I was actually shooting cross field because I had someone manning tape.
So at the corner watching your back.
Yeah, I watched my back, yeah. So I was there and I was looking cross, and for some reason I don't know, it happened super quick. The opposing Snake player came up and just did a run through, ran up on me. I think I was like probably a good maybe 3 feet away.
And just shot at you?
Shot directly in my facial area. I was wearing JT Flexes. If you're not into paintball gear, you would know, or if you are into it, you would know that it's a flexible mask. Like
that's why it's called Flex.
That's why it's called Flex. Yeah, exactly. So I get 2 shots, one in my lower lip and one in my neck.
Ugh.
So I get shot. I'm like, it was like I got hit in the chest, even though I didn't get hit in the chest. Like I lost all air in my lungs, and I like fell backwards, and like I was just done that day. And then I taste paint because the paintball broke on my mask, and I could taste blood because my lower lip is busted.
Fat.
Yeah, it was fat and like busted open. And all I did was just like, I mean, I didn't even look at the guy. Nothing was said to him. I just got my stuff, walked off the field, and was like, I'm done for the day. Like, my lips was as swollen as like, it was like a sausage. Like, seriously, like bad. A thick brawwurst. Like,
I remember you were pretty upset too.
Yeah, I mean,
you didn't take that one too well.
No, I mean,
you were done that day. Right after.
I would be too.
Yeah, no,
it's kind of a jerk move, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Worst shot I ever had, I was playing home, which is the very first bunker, right in the middle. Normally, if you get bunkered or if somebody runs up on you, you're the last person in and you weren't doing your job. Hence, I wasn't doing my job and I was the last person in. And dude is running up on the front. He was one of my buddies. I knew he was coming up. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to post back. I'm going to wait for him to come through, trade him out, shoot him back when he shoots me. I didn't know his friend was running up on the other side and comes through, shoots me in the neck. And I actually passed out. I kind of everything. I felt like I blinked, but when I opened my eyes again, I'm kind of laying down a little bit. Yeah, it was crazy. My sister was there, and she's like, "Are you okay?" Like she comes running out. She's like, "You okay? You okay?" Like you passed out, and I was like, "Oh, what the heck?" It was only for like a second, but still, it was crazy. So I get up, my neck is swollen. There's actually a video on YouTube that I did right after. You can see my neck. I'll see if I can find it. Maybe we can upload it, but it was nasty. And my buddy's friend who actually took the shots on my neck, chronoed his gun, which to test how fast it was shooting out of the barrel, and it was actually hot, which means it's over. So it was shooting more than it should have, and it hit me in the neck, knocked me out. That was an interesting situation. Yeah,
super gnarly. As you can tell, if situations are good, you'll come out relatively unhurt. Yeah. And then sometimes you do.
Those are just the worst of the worst. So.
Yeah, worst of the worst.
Back in the day, they used to only play with shop goggles when it started.
Oh, I can imagine that. I mean, especially now after that speedball situation, never.
And the paint was a lot thicker, so it didn't break half the time, and the guns shot harder. They didn't have a way of measuring the speed of the ball. It was definitely a lot more dangerous back then.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten shot like directly in the hand, like a barrel probably like an inch away from my hand, because I was like, I put my hand over a bunker or something, and just it was like in a weird like maze-ish map or not map field, and I put my hand over, and this guy was on the opposing team, but he was like right there for some reason. I don't know why. And he put 2 shots into my hand, like an inch away. Like I was bleeding, like instantly.
Why though? That's a little excessive.
I think he was just excited.
Yeah, especially new guys. As soon as they see anything, they shoot.
Trigger happy.
Yeah,
it's like the term. It's like when they get that adrenaline rush, they're just like fight or flight, and sometimes they fight a little too much.
Yeah.
A little too early.
Yeah.
Because typically you're supposed to surrender someone, technically, that close. I don't know. I mean, I guess it could be different for paintball. I don't even know.
It just depends on the field.
I try not to get that close to someone without shooting them.
Yeah, it depends on the field you're at.
Yeah. We played with some weird rules, too. Like, gunshots don't count.
Oh, yeah, that was a bad...
What?
Yeah, sometimes, like in paintball, it's like either some fields are like gunshots count and gunshots don't. I mean, we've actually played more so that gunshots count.
That's typically
the typical rule.
What do you mean? Like,
basically, if you get shot in the gun or the hopper or the tank, it doesn't count.
Oh, okay.
It has to be on your body, which is a terrible rule, and it actually promotes blind firing, which is super dangerous. So, and what's crazy is the field, which I'm not going to say since I just talked about how negative it is. They actually own a couple fields, and at all of their other fields, gunshots count. So I don't know if it's the refs make the rules at that one field, or
they might have changed it.
What it is exactly.
I mean, it's been a while since we've been there. They could have changed it for the better, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like beer pong. Like certain rules in beer pong are like
house
rules.
Yeah.
I know, like my house rules for beer pong are a little controversial sometimes. I think if you're losing in beer pong, the rule you're losing on is typically controversial to everybody in the room, because they're like, my elbow wasn't over, or my wrist wasn't over, or we're not playing wrist, we're playing elbows. You know, stuff like that.
I don't know anybody that plays elbows.
I don't know anybody that plays elbows either. We play fingertips, actually.
Yeah.
I've played elbows.
Oh,
every time I've played, we've played elbows.
Have we?
Yes. Not fingertips.
Maybe we change it depending on the length of the table. That's probably what it is. We change depending on the length of the space.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Just lied to everybody. How dare you? Or me. How dare myself? So
how long have we been going?
I don't know.
It's quite a while. I know this is a good one. Oh, it's an hour and a half.
Nice, perfect.
I think we're good to close it out now. And Adam, it was awesome having you.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm honored, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
It's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
Hopefully, maybe you can bring us some stories. Everybody out there, message us if you have a story idea. We might put it into, or it might work on it with you. Who knows?
There we go.
So,
thank you, everybody, for listening.
This is the Grimm Brothers.
Enjoy the rest of your night.